Hi. If you are familiar with the realm of Twitch, you will know that there is a server on Minecraft called the Dream SMP. But the difference between regular SMPs and the Dream SMP is that the Dream SMP has an overarching plotline, which means that it's basically streamers acting out fictional characters and existing within that realm. What does this mean, however? It means that no one knows what the fuck is going on ever, and I am one of those people. I figured it'd be a fun activity for me to try to explain Dream SMP lore without watching any of the streams. So basically, the SMP started off with this guy named Dream, and he had some friends, those friends being George Not Found and Sapnap, and they were like, hey, we should start a server. And everyone else was like, poggers. And then they did, and it was cool, and they were all vibing in the wilderness because that's what happens in Minecraft. And then, who I only know as the gremlin child, Tommy Innit joined the server and brought his friend Tubbo with him. And apparently, this was the turn of like, uh-oh, these guys are gonna cause some problems. Apparently there's discs involved. I don't know what that's about, but I see a lot of art with Tommy and Tubbo and discs, so I'm gonna assume those are important to the plot. And then some other people joined, like Wilbursoot and stuff, but keep that in mind, because those will come into play later. So there are multiple cities within the Dream SMP, apparently, and I fact-checked this to make sure it was correct, but there's a city called L'Manberg. And those bad boys pulled a 1776 and declared independence. From what? I have no clue. And there was a lot of war. And everyone was like, Dream, can we please be an independent nation? And Dream said, no. And they said, please. And Dream said, no. And then everyone was like, pretty please with sugar on top? And he said, okay. So they became an independent nation. And then everything seemed fine. Until, you guessed it, more chaos. The only reason I know the names of these campaigns is because they trended on Twitter at some point. But there were two campaigns. One was called Swag 2020, and one was called Pog 2020. Pog 2020 was Tommy and Wilbur campaigning for president. This is a presidential campaign, by the way. And Swag 2020 was Big Man and other big man. And eventually there was a big election, and they had a stage and a podium, and it was all a big thing, right? There was a large rally, and then Jay Schlatt was there. And then apparently Jay Schlatt is president now. Bad idea, by the way. And he was like, hey, Wilbur and Tommy, you are now banned. And everyone was very angered by this. So that sparked a rebellion, and they burned down the flag, which compared to the average person, the flag is very big. So the fact that they burned that down was a large plot point. I don't know much of what happened between that point and the next plot point. I think there was a festival or something, so let's just pretend there's a festival and then a time skip. This is where things get crazy. I have no clue where Tommy is at this point, but Wilbur's gone fucking crazy. For like several days straight, all I heard about was Wilbur putting TNT under the city. So you know that there's something bad happening. However, I do need to give some context for this next part to make sense. There's a thing called Sleepy Boys Inc., and it was dubbed by the fans, and it's this guy named Philza, this winged samurai guy with a bucket hat. There's Technoblade, Minecraft Fighter Man. There's Wilbursoot, Mr. Music Minecraft Man. And then Tommy Innit. And they're a family, and Phil is dad, and then the rest of them are brothers, Technoblade being the oldest, and Tommy being the youngest. This family dynamic is important, but it will only come into play later. The only reason I know what happens in this scene in excruciating detail is because I watch animatics, because I thought it was interesting. So I will describe it in the best words that I can. Wilbur's underneath the city, and it's a very rock room, and there's a big button on the wall. And Dad Philza is like, hey, what are you doing down here? And Will is like, guy, I'm fucking crazy. I have sat down here so many times about to press that button, and I haven't, because I figured it would be a bad plan. And then Phil's like, yeah, it would definitely be a bad plan. Please don't do that. And Wilbur's like, but the city sucks, and I hate it here. And Phil is like, please just like think with your brain for a second. And Will is like, if I can't have L'Manberg, no one can. And Phil is like, what the fuck? and Wilbur slaps the button and blows up the city, and everyone's like, yo, what just happened? And Phil is like, look what you've done. And Will's like, kill me, I'm crazy, I'm gonna do a thing. And Phil is like, no, you're my son. And Will's like, I'm going to commit crimes, please kill me. And then Phil's like, okay. And then he stabs him, and then it is done. So that happened. Also, I think Schlatt had a heart attack at one point. I don't remember, but Horny Homie is dead now. And so without a president and without insane person with TNT, they're left with the boys. And so Tubbo, who is possibly Jay Schlatt's son, I see a lot of art with them together. Anyways, Tubbo shows up and he's like, hey, I need to fill the presidential position. And then, what's that? Tommy comes back. And Tommy's like, hey, guy, what are you doing here? I thought you were on my side. And Tubbo's like, it's nothing personal, kid. And then goes in a suit, and Tommy's like, ouch, oof, my heart. And so stuff happens with that, I think. And then Wilbur is changed to Ghostbur, and then Schlatt is also a ghost, but he's less important. And with the ghosts only remember the good memories, and so Wilbur doesn't remember when he was fucking crazy. So he's just vibing, and apparently he fucked a salmon, and now he's dating a sheep, and no one knows what's going on, but that's what I know so far. All in all, the Dream SMP was a fantastic server created by fantastic YouTubers, and they've definitely blurred the line between scripted entertainment and Twitch content, which is very interesting to see unfold. And while I feel worse and worse for the guy that has to type out the meaning of the hashtags on Twitter, it's still very interesting to see. Make sure to like this video if you did like it. Comment down below any mistakes that I made, or if you just want to educate me on the lore, because I have no clue what's going on ever. Subscribe if you want to see more of my face or hear more of my voice. Follow me on social medias at mockspade. I'm on pretty much all of them. And as always, you're loved, wanted, and appreciated. I hope you have a good day, and stay safe out there, fellas.
I heard there was a special place where men could go and emancipate the brutality and the tyranny of their rulers. Well, this place is real, you needn't fret. With Wilbur, Tommy, Tubbo, fuck Eret. It's a very big and not blown up L'Manberg. My L'Manberg. My L'Manberg. My L'Manberg. Tommy. My L'Manberg.